out. Why? Just cut it. Just cut it. Just make it stop. I don't consent. I don't consent to this. Oh, it's a Monday. Whew. Let's do fitnessy things. Also, here's the facade. We do these all at once, and I have not changed today, so facade over. Cool thing for this week, we are going to have a lot of warm-ups, and some of the workouts are from other Deca Comp gyms around the country. Super neat. They are referenced, I think, all the way through the week as if they came from a different gym or who wrote them, so on and so forth. So a little way to kind of have some connection across people that are also doing the program that we're on. For today, your warm-up is going to be from Nick from CrossFit Surmount. I don't know where that is, but find Thunderstruck, put it on. It's a song by AC/DC. If you don't know that, John Riggs is probably not going to be friends with you, so just don't tell him. Listen to the song, get to know it, whatever. You're going to do jumping jacks or high knees or butt kicks, the entire song. I would change between those three if I were you. But anytime you hear the word thunder, you got to do a burpee. Cool. Little way to get warm and have some fun and listen to some good music. That's going to take us to some stretches. We've got Joe over here, and he is going to show you the PNF hamstring stretch. If you have a belt or something that is solid that doesn't give, I like to use that more for these. So grab it, pull yourself into a pretty solid stretch, 7 seconds stretch, nice and relaxed, take some deep breaths, and then 7 seconds contract against that belt or whatever you're using, and then go deeper into the stretch. 4, 7 rounds on each side. When you get done there, we've got some squat movement prep. 30 seconds of a deep hold in a squat. Stay active in this, so I want you to go as deep as you can, but pay attention to your lower back and make sure that that is not just curling and butt winking into things. Come up until you can feel that lumbar spine, that lower back engage, and then hold for 30 seconds. Once you get done there, 10 alternating Cossack squats. Since we are prepping for squats, I encourage you to squat up and out instead of sneaking on through. Squatting up and out is going to make the legs wake up a little bit better. Sneaking under is going to open up the hips a little bit more. If you need the hip stuff, sneak on under. Strength for today is going to be back squats. If you have the availability to back squat, that's what we're going to do. You've got an EMOM of 10 minutes, and you're going to do 5 reps at 5% heavier than what you did last week. Pretty simple. If you don't have a back squat rack, Christy had an awesome idea if you're not worried about breaking anything in, I think it was a bathroom. Is that a bathroom? It was dope. Whatever it was. Super creative. You could just go light enough that you could just clean and jerk it and then pop it up onto your back just to get the reps in. If you need to adjust the EMOM, adjust the EMOM. It doesn't matter. Cool. If you don't have a bar or the ability to do back squats at home, let's talk. One of the cool things about strength is that as long as we're still doing the movement pattern, it's gonna hold on for a while. So don't worry, you're not gonna be like super weak when this is all done if you haven't done any strength workout. It's gonna stay as long as we keep moving through those patterns with intent. Today, what we're gonna chase after is a lateral step down. There's a couple different ways you can do this. You can do it as a knee therapy and motor control. For that, you're gonna wanna bring it way down, pull your toe up, so we're gonna dorsiflex, and then you're just going to tap the heel down and then drive up off of the leg that's planted on the box. Cool. 5 on one side, 5 on the other. The other option is to work more on the strength aspect of that, and this is gonna be a pistol scale. So this one we can take up a little bit higher. You're not necessarily worried about the absolute control over the working knee. You're just gonna rock through 5 deeper squats with your leg hanging off of some sort of stable surface. Couch probably wouldn't be a good idea for that. Maybe a chair, I guess, but awesome. With that, I wouldn't take it where you're going through a full pistol, so I wouldn't go below parallel per se. That's gonna be a lot and maybe not what we're chasing after for this, but still rock that out on the EMOM. If you have the ability to do any sort of weighted squat, you're gonna go for 5 tempo weighted squats at 3 seconds down. Okay, so 3 seconds down and then pop back up. And then without the bar, 5 air squats really quickly. Cool, so 5 and 5. Awesome. That's gonna take us into the Metcon. This one is going to be a doozy of an explanation. Here we go. On a running clock, at 0 minutes, you're gonna do a 21:15.9. And then at 10 minutes, you're gonna do another 21:15.9. And then at 20 minutes, you're gonna do another 21:15.9. The movements are going to alternate and then come together. So if you have all the equipment, awesome. We have calorie row, we have dumbbell snatches, we have a calorie row, and we have burpee box jump overs. And then in the third one, you have dumbbell snatches and burpee box jump overs. Cool. So essentially, like, you have an A, B, A, C, and then B, C for each one. Options within that. So if you don't have, for one, if you have a bike and not a rower, just keep the calories the same for this. If you need to scale down, that's also a possibility, right? So 15:12.9 is a good option, 12:9.6 depending, but for a lot of this, as long as we're not going over 20 calories, I'll just keep it the same. So if you have a rower, awesome, you've got calories. If you don't, we've got alternating jumping lunges. I've spieled a lot about this last week, so if you need to not make them jumping or you want to go to the split squats, cool, do that. Keep your knees safe. Otherwise, you're gonna do alternating jumping lunges and you're just gonna double the reps. That's a pretty quick thing. So instead of 21, you're gonna do 42 of those. That's a lot. That's gonna be a doozy. Scale as needed. If you do not have a dumbbell or something to throw up over your head, we've got an odd object ground to overhead. The other day we talked about the backpack thing. Do it, get a backpack, find one, I don't know, order off on Amazon, get a Prime delivery if they're still doing that. Get a backpack, throw it over your head, cool. Instead of the burpee box jump overs, you could do a burpee box jump, or like if you have stairs, you could jump onto the stairs, something along those lines. You don't necessarily need to do a box jump, or you could do a burpee over just something. Think of like lateral bar over burpees, just something that you have to hop over, and that's gonna be the target for today. Or if you wanna get a little bit unique, we've got all sorts of options for these burpees, because burpees are fun, and we're gonna do a lot of them. You can do a burpee with a side shuffle for 5 feet. So you would pop on the ground, pop up, and then shuffle to the left, 5 feet, pop down, burpee shuttle. Interesting, it'll get your heart rate up, and it's something a little bit different than what you're used to. So, cool. That's that Metcon. As far as score goes, you're gonna look at scoring each individual round, and then Wodify adds up all of your scores. So if you finish in whatever 1650 for the second round, just put in 650, so on and so forth. It'll add up the working time to give you a score. This is gonna be pretty intense. I would encourage you to go ham out of the gate and just see what happens, because it's CrossFit, and sometimes that's fun to do. As far as the cash out for this, you're gonna look at a dragon flag. That is an intense calisthenic workout. I made Joe do all sorts of variations for you guys because I love Joe and I think it's funny. So there's the demo going on. Essentially, you're just looking to control your abs in a negative fashion through various movements. All you're gonna need is something to grab onto that you can pull with your arms up above your head. Awesome. Question of the day. What's your favorite book from when you were a kid? Or series? I have a series answer, so I'm gonna throw that into there. My favorite book when I was growing up, I think it was like early junior high, was the Ender's Game series. The movie, terrible, 10 out of 10, don't recommend. The books, phenomenal, and they age super well. If you get into the later parts of the books, they talk a lot about connection, and in that universe, there's actually like a tangible thing that happens on a different plane. The more connected you are to somebody, you actually have a physical connection between point A and point B. And so in that universe, they're traveling in space travel and they're far apart and millions of miles away, but you have this like bonded, I don't know, what is that, quantum entanglement between two parties. And it's a super cool aspect to a book that, as far as the first book, Ender's Game, you don't really get into at all. And the exploration of that is super neat, super creative way to extend a series. Orson Scott Card. All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow for Tuesday. I hope you guys had a great start to your week.